talked Monday about if you're going to get that down about the loss, you're in the wrong locker room. How have you seen the team just respond in practice since Saturday?
Yeah, I think we've had a good week, but we got to go play. You know, the games are so much different than practice, and so, like I always say, I mean, you work hard during the week, and we see if we were working the right way on Saturday.
Yeah, with a guy like DJ Beavers just kind of knowing that he's going to be the guy on Saturday, how much does that change things for him?
You know, he's played quite a bit. I mean, he's over the years now, we're talking about game, whatever this is, 11, 12. So he's played in every game. He's got meaningful reps. He's got a lot of practice reps. And so, you know, it's time for him to go.
Yeah. What does he bring to this football team just from a physical perspective?
I think he's a good football player. You know, I mean, he's kind of one of those guys that, you know, he understands the game, he feels the game. I always, you know, we can only coach so much in terms of getting him in the right places and all those type of things, and then guys got to go make plays. And I think he's one of those guys.
Is there a difference between him and Ben Burke-Irvin, or what? How's that going to work?
Well, yeah, they're different. I think they're both good players, and you know, Coach Gregory will have a rotation in there to get all those guys work, but they play different positions. You know, I know they look like they both are inside backers, which they are, but there's significantly different roles and assignments from the will backer to the Mike backer. And so there's cross-training that's always been going on, but that's kind of the real difference.
And Brandon Wellington backing up DJ, how do you feel like he's responded so far this week?
You know, I think they've all done a good job. And again, Brandon's true freshman. It's got some reps and has played in all games, and excited to see what he can do.
You guys had 4 sacks the last 4 games.
Yeah.
And fans, media, maybe obsessed over sack numbers maybe more than you guys do. I'll take that as an agreement, yes.
Okay.
Is that a concern going forward? Obviously, with the.
Well, I thought we got pressure, you know, last game, especially in the second half, and so, you know, you'd like to be able to sack them, but you got to get pressure. You got to make sure that ball's coming out of their hand, and you know, we're always paying attention to it. I mean, that's the name of the game. When the offense has the ball, if the quarterback has it, how do we get to him? And you know, it's the running back. You got to stop him, and so that's always an area that we're trying to figure out.
What did you and Jake just talk about when you talked about what went wrong against USC and how he kind of handles things going forward?
He and I had no individual conversation. You know, this is a team game, and it starts with everybody. You know, everybody wants to go right to the quarterback. You know, and they have when it's all gone good. There's been a lot of guys up front that have done some really good things for him to allow him to do his job, and so, you know, there's no need for us to go to him to say what's, you know, it starts with everybody else, and everybody else needs to do their job a little bit better. And Jake will do his job a little bit better.
How about the guys up front just coming out of that game and what you want to see from them, maybe differently, if anything, in this game starting Saturday?
Well, we got to play better. You know, I mean, that's the bottom line. But it's definitely a different challenge because it's a completely different scheme, and so, you know, it's kind of like you move on fast, you know, because it's just a whole new set of challenges. And so, you know, in some ways that game seems like it was a long time ago because we've been studying so hard on this next opponent.
Maybe talk about that, just kind of how ASU is different schematically and maybe unique from the teams you've seen so far.
I think everybody's different, you know. Everybody brings something different, and they really do. There's nobody that's the beauty of college football. I mean, it really is. They might look to the average person from the stands, and this is kind of similar. And there's some similarities, but this isn't a game of similarities, it's a game of details. And so their defense is different, their offense is different than we've seen, and they have really good players. You know, they have really good skill across the board. A lot of these guys we played against last year, so we know what we're getting ourselves into.
What are the fairly small senior class, but obviously a chance to send those guys out?
Yeah.
How important are these guys kind of in that transition for you and the staff?
Yeah, I think, you know, there's some guys in there that have been critical for us to take the next step around here. I've talked about those guys before. Not only some of those guys have been here for the whole duration, 4 and 5 years. Really proud of those guys. But also just, you know, all the seniors, you know, to go through this thing 4 or 5 years. I think they're different, much different people now, and been through a lot of hardship, adversity, and that's how it goes. But, and I say that in a good way. You know, I think they look back and go, wow, you know, that was hard, but that was good.
Saw Muching, one of those guys, playing his last game at the stadium.